Go
He
live.
kicked you out for a second. It was just me. It says we're live.
Does it?
Yeah, we're live right now. You look
Oh,
pretty
we are
uncomfortable.
live. We definitely are live. Sorry, people. If we were live, my phone was saying we are not live. So a little confusing.
Oh, we're
But
alive.
today,
It's electric in here.
our favorite person to talk about, Brian
Unk.
Johnson. Yeah, the self proclaimed unk of longevity, Brian Johnson, put up a list that tells us how to live forever.
He called
Now,
himself your immortal Unk and Auntie. I don't know if he's talking about his wife or if he's also in one Unk and Auntie. Is the thing that is he embodying an uncle and an auntie? But he's immortal
I
to
have
it says
no
to
idea.
our immortal nieces and nephews. So we are now family to Brian Johnson, which means I should be in his will if the immortal Unk decides to not be immortal.
Yeah, so today we decided we're going to go through all of these things and we're going to talk about them. We're going to say if what he's saying is true or what is he if he's saying something that's complete baloney. So, we'll start with number 0 because for some reason he doesn't start with 1. Sleep is the most powerful drug. What do you think, sir?
I wouldn't call it a drug, but it's incredibly important. So I can right off the bat agree with number 0 that sleep is if you sleep deprive yourself, don't actually try it. But if you do end up trying it by accident, like I have in many grad school nights, you don't feel too good. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't think good about yourself. You end up not looking good also. And people will tell you. You go to class, you go to work, and be like, "Hey, Tom, you look like shiitake mushrooms. You look god awful." So
Yeah,
sleep is
sleep
incredibly important.
sleep helps us recover. Sleep helps us, get stronger, build muscle, believe it or not. I guess that's part of recovery is too. It helps your brain with processing just by giving it a little break, letting it rest. Yeah, we need to sleep. I think we can both agree on this one. I don't think that was a hard one at all.
Now, the next one might be a little bit more difficult to do, but be in your bed for 8 hours, I think goes hand in hand with sleep. But I think he's just saying to if you don't sleep for 8 hours, at least be in your bed for 8 hours. For the two people who just joined, we're going over Brian Johnson posted a 43 thing list
Or,
that's, what he's
or
learned.
two.
No, it's 0 to 40. Oh,
Yeah.
I can't count. Either way, Brian Johnson said sleep is the most powerful drug. It's not a drug, but it's incredibly important. And now we're on be in your bed for 8 hours. Aaron, what do you think?
I mean, it's not wrong to be in your bed for 8 hours, but I don't know what the study is. Like, if you wake up at 7.5, you're just supposed to lay there for 30 minutes. That seems a little bit silly to me. I can't say it's necessarily wrong though. Like I haven't seen studies that say, "Oh, you have to be laying down in bed for 8 hours." That just seems a little wonky to me.
I mean, I've seen the importance. Like, I've seen some studies that say how important it is to get like a sufficient amount of sleep, and I feel like the old rule of thumb is the 8 hours, and I feel like it does still hold true. Like, it might not be
So,
exactly 8 hours, but I feel like
don't get me wrong. I think you're I'm quoting what I'm trying to say that I'm reading this as even if you sleep for 6.5 hours, stay in bed for 8 hours. That's what it sounds like to me because this says be in bed for 8 hours.
okay, I can see where the discrepancy with that. The Mortal Unk didn't really, you know,
Yeah. I think you're right. I think
describe
it
it
is
well
probably
enough.
sleep. Like, when it comes to sleep, I usually think of sleep as something you wanna do in hour-and-a-half increments, which is a really weird way to think about it for a lot of people, but, a sleep cycle is usually around an hour-and-a-half to 2 hours. Everyone's, of course, a little bit different. So, if you wake up at the end of your sleep cycle, you actually feel a little bit better because your brain is in such a deep, relaxed state. So, you actually wake up easier if you find out when your sleep cycle ends. So, for most people, that's around 6 hours, 7.5 hours. So, I usually recommend it like that, like 6, 7.5. 9 is, like, starting to get to the point where it's a little bit too long, like, you don't wanna be just that sedentary for that long. But yeah, like 6, 7.5 is usually pretty good. Like, it just seems weird to me to just be in your bed for 8 hours. It's a little bit too vague, and maybe I'm overthinking this. And also, hello, Nanang Herdina Sa. Nice to meet you. Oh, sorry if I completely massacred your name there.
You definitely did.
I definitely did. But what do you think, sir? Do you think that makes any sense to you?
No, it does. I think so too. I think like if you're up and awake, you get good enough sleep. You don't have to lay there for 8 hours. I don't. I definitely don't get enough sleep, but it's definitely not healthy. I can vouch for it.
All right, then let's hop right into the next one. Same bedtime every night, anytime before midnight. Good, bad, ugly. What do you think? Thank you,
I think it's
Thanos
such a
fan.
good routine. I don't know if it's that like incredibly important or detrimental if you get to bed at different times. Um, 50-50 on that one. Just line it up and make sure you get a good amount of sleep is my
I
opinion.
think, I think, again, thank you, Thanos fan, for coming on. We appreciate you. Uh, I think there's a thing called the circadian rhythm, which basically is our anatomical clock. Our body is supposed to be asleep at certain times. Our body is supposed to be awake at certain times. So having a set bedtime actually does help you sleep a little bit better or get to sleep a little bit easier. So I actually am for this one. I think it's a good idea to have a set bedtime every night. That being said, I do not.
I
I do
definitely don't.
not have a set bedtime. I go to bed when I'm done playing video games or watching a movie, which we're gonna get to later. You should not be doing.
There's one on this list that comes up, and it's bringing me flashbacks to a video that we did in the past, and I can't wait to get to it. I'll tell you when we get there. But from now on, we're marching on to don't eat right before bed.
I don't. I guess that has to do with digestion. Again, something that is like in our wheelhouse, but like a smidge on the fringe, maybe outside of it. Um, I I don't think it's the end of the world, honestly. Like, what is rest and digest? When we're sleeping, our body is digesting food. So, what would be the negative of eating right before bed? Now, if you're having something that's high in sugar and has a lot of caffeine, maybe I wouldn't do that. But if you're having, something that's a little bit healthier, it might not be as bad, I wouldn't think. Like, I think the type of food matters.
I don't know. I feel like during sleep, our body's supposed to be focusing a lot on healing and cellular regeneration. So if we have a full stomach when we go to bed, I feel like it has to put the energy into digesting that rather than healing. And I'm going based on just thought here and not any research that I have to back any of my claims right now. But I don't know. I that's where my theory would go on it. Rest and digestion
Yeah,
would be like me sitting here and digesting, but
but yeah, our body is meant to do that stuff. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, it's supposed to do those things together, I would think. Maybe it's not as efficient like you're saying. I could see where you're getting at there. But to me, it just seems like that's, it's a little wonky.
Yeah. I think it's a toss up. That one's not like detrimental or not. Like I don't think so. Like the other ones
And
were like, yeah, no, you need sleep, you need yeah.
and that has been a myth for years, like, "Don't eat before bed, it's bad for you." And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that it is a myth, I'm just saying, like, I've heard that since I was a kid, like, "Oh, yeah, you're not supposed to eat before bed."
His next one right after kind of ties into this calm foods for dinner. Which no, if I come home and I want to have a damn Crunchwrap Supreme and a Four Loco, we're gonna have a party in that tummy.
I think it's, like, one of those things, though, that it probably is a good idea to avoid, like, super inflammatory foods right before bed, like, we've all had a giant meal before bed and felt super bloated, and then it's harder to sleep because you feel so bloated.
I
That
know
happened to
when
me
I'm
last week.
super bloated, like sometimes I sleep pretty good. Like
No,
just feel like chilling on a pad.
my brother's wedding was this past weekend, and I literally couldn't sleep because I was so full. I had
Yeah,
so
and
much food
you had to
in my
call me
system.
for bail after that wedding. I don't know what we won't talk about what happened, but you
Yeah, we'll
still owe
avoid
me your
talking
bail
about that
money.
for now. So it was actually $2. It was called a get out of jail free card.
He passed go.
But yeah, I think calm foods for dinner. Again, like, it sort of goes along with these bedtime things. Like, so far, all of these I think could probably be beneficial, but it just takes the fun out of life, you know?
A lot of these take the fun out of life. Avoid added sugar. Right now, then I want something sweet. Avoid all avoid all things in an American convenience store. There's there's some things that we don't have to avoid that's in the convenience store. Water is
Yeah,
in the convenience store.
yeah.
Unk.
But sir, you're skipping you skipped this one right here. No screens an hour before bed. And I think we
Yeah,
could both agree that's
we
probably
do
a good
that
idea.
every Thursday.
I go to bed at 12.
We're usually done around 11.
I also watch TV right after, so
Yeah.
I absolutely could be better with that too. Um, but yeah, screens are stimulating. Screens wake you up a lot, so doing it right before bed is going to make it harder to sleep. It's just going to get your mind racing a little bit. So I would
You
not
like
watch a screen before bed.
you like fried Oreos?
Yeah, they had them at the wedding.
Don't do it anymore. Guess what? You just took some time off your life. Number 8, avoid fried foods. Way to go.
Sure, we just
Walked
flew
into
through
that
these.
one.
But yeah,
Well,
6,
some
7,
of these
8.
it's like I feel like when the reason I'm doing it like that now is because some of these are they kind of tie into each other. So let's interlink them and have fun with it.
Yeah,
Avoid
so
fried foods.
let me read those off again. I know you did already, but avoid added sugar. Be aware it's in everything. It's not in steak, Brian. Avoid all things in an American convenience store and avoid fried foods. Those things aren't wrong. I mean, a lot of stuff in the convenience store is pretty junky. Like added sugar is usually not the best thing, but I also don't think it should be vilified either. Like it's okay to eat some extra sugar every once in a while.
I think you can live. See, this is all like the to live your immortal life, like to live long. Like Brian Johnson's trying to just promote like the immortal life, and I'm gonna say something that might sound a little bit morbid. I don't want to live forever.
Well, Dr. Tom, we'll have you call your therapist after this.
What's the hotline?
Um, no, but all seriousness, yeah, I mean that's sort of a different topic. I feel like altogether. But we want to live. I mean, a big thing that we talk about a lot on this channel is moderation, like eating foods that you like, and you can still be healthy doing that. It's just you don't, have an entire pizza. You have a few slices, or you don't eat an entire ice cream, a carton of ice cream. You just have a few scoops, and you still get those things. And honestly, you're going to be satiated. You're going to feel fine. You don't need to eat all that stuff. You don't need
Yeah,
to
I,
be
I
on top.
joke. I joke and I digress. I'm completely joking. I do want to live long and healthy. I don't want to be immortal like Brian Johnson wants to be. I want to live long, and at the length that I live, I want to be able to move around and be healthy. So these are all good tips, but I wouldn't say like you need to do these religiously.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this one here,
There
shoes off at the door. Number 9.
So do you do that at home, sir?
I do that at home, but not for a longevity purpose. It's because I don't want stuff tracked through the house.
Yeah, I do that too. I wonder what the longevity benefit would be. Is it
I
just like
guess you're not
walking
tracking
around?
the outdoor toxins through the house would be my guess.
Okay,
Question
well
mark.
that does make sense actually.
Yeah, because like
There
if
is
you've walked across a lawn that's been like fertilized, and we all know Roundup has a great
yeah.
history. Maybe not having that stamped on your couch and carpet is a good idea.
I do know too that it's like there is some benefit to barefoot walking. Although I think you're probably more on point than what I am. All those extra toxins we're trying to avoid. It is good to walk barefoot sometimes to work on those like intrinsic muscles in your feet, try to get them a little bit stronger. So I could somewhat see that. I could buy that. I also don't bring shoes in the house either. Danielle does sometimes though. That's my wife. She's a
Well,
shoe person.
I think we need to have an intervention.
Uh Number 10. Eat whole foods, particularly veggies, fruits, nuts, legumes, and berries.
The gummies.
Those things are good.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, cool, great.
I think there is something to eating whole foods and not having foods that have 1,000 different ingredients in it. I do try to do that. It also can get a little bit expensive. It's not going to be the worst ever, but you look at organic foods in the grocery store, a lot of times those are uppriced or upcharged. And a lot of times the organic food really isn't that much different than the normal food anyway. So it's not even that much like that worth it to do it.
No, 100%, I agree. And now, the one thing that I do like religiously off of this list is like when we're buying groceries, like I am very much like a label reader. If there's oils and stuff that are just extra in there, just like ingredients, I'm just like, why did that get added? I oftentimes won't buy the food. So I am a big like advocate on like the whole foods, the organic stuff. But even now with the organic stuff, you gotta be careful. There's studies coming out saying that they're still doing stuff to the organic like meats and veggies and stuff like that. Like uh strawberries Driscoll's, they're under a lot of fire right now because they're even with their organic strawberries allegedly, and I said allegedly, Driscoll's, so don't sue me. Allegedly, they're giving their strawberries chemical baths still that are after they get picked when they're grown organically or from an organic product or something, and it's just causing. It's on the Dirty Dozen right now, where it's like it's the number one cancer causing product on the Dirty Dozen.
Well, for sure. Think about it like this. You get strawberries, you have them at your house for half a week and go bad.
Yeah,
And they're out in the store for hours. They have to be transported. There's got to be some way that they're surviving all this transport. And it's
I
not.
have a strawberry plant growing in my backyard right now. Actually, you just remind me of by saying all of this.
So how long does it take for one of those strawberries to go bad?
I don't know. I'll let you know. Actually, last year went by quick. So I got that strawberry plant late last year, and she survived all of winter long. She's a trooper. Survived the entire winter. Didn't go brown on me. And then like I walked outside, and she's growing strong. She's got about 7 strawberries growing at the moment.
So,
Last
sir,
year she gave me two, and they went
oh,
bad inside of a week when I
okay,
planted them.
yeah. Okay, yeah. So it's actually like it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick turnover.
They go quick.
And strawberries don't just get here in a day. It's
And
going to take
they're
time.
not they're like this big. Real strawberries are like they're tiny. Like I picked one of them late and I was like, "Oh crap, like it's starting to brown already. Like how like it's dying on me." Like I didn't know like it was only like this big and I'm like, "Oh crap, I got to pick it." And the next one it grew, I picked it when it was again this big. Dawn Dawn wants
John, thanks for the
Dawn.
positive input. You're really a shining light on our channel.
Yeah.
That's a lie, Dawn. You're a pain in the neck. But yeah, you always got to be careful about organic foods. They might not be what you think they are. But let's hop into the next one. Again, everybody who's watching, we're looking at Brian Johnson's list from a day ago, talking about how to live forever. And we're on number 11, which is walk a little after meals or air squats. Sir, thoughts?
I mean, he's just saying to be active, which is good. Being active after a meal does help speed up the digestion. It does help push the food along, which makes it digest faster. So inherently, it's a good tip. Yeah, like make sure you get moving afterwards.
So, one of the most important things that exercise does is it actually helps your GI system get going. So, being a geriatric physical therapist, have had a lot of patients who get constipated. Being constipated is very painful. And
Aaron knows this because he did a study where he made himself stay constipated to see what his patients were going through.
yeah, and because I have older adults, a lot of times when I get them moving, it starts flowing because they haven't been moving as much. And when you get them moving, those stomach and those things that got a little stuck up start to move around a little bit more. So that can come across as some gas, or it can come across as quite the big dookie. It definitely does happen.
Moving right
Sir,
along.
you want to
Yeah,
combine the next three, sir? I feel like those are pretty close to each other.
yeah. Get your heart rate moving. Lift heavy things and stretch daily. That just goes hand in hand with just be active, move, do things. Don't be a lazy bum. Doesn't have to be just after your meals. If you don't like the gym, don't go to it, but go for a walk. Do some stuff around the house. You don't like doing that? Find another way to be active. Go play pickleball or something. You don't want
Well,
to do that? There's always something else.
calisthenic exercises, things like that are very important just to keep us strong, keep us moving. So yeah, you definitely have to keep up with that type of stuff too.
100%.
Um,
15 is underrated. The next one that we're gonna talk about: water pick, floss, brush, scrape the tongue, morning and night. Like just saying oral hygiene stuff is actually oral hygiene is linked to so many other diseases that we don't know, like people don't realize.
sir, talk about this for a few minutes. I gotta get something.
Yeah, okay. Thank God Dr. Aaron's wearing pants. Um, yeah, no, so like oral hygiene specifically is linked to so many different types of diseases that it's shown like if you have bad oral hygiene, you're at a higher risk of just one getting sick in general, and two these other diseases like heart disease is a really big one where they find that like plaque, I believe, is plaque in your mouth is also related to like plaque that's inside of your arteries and everything too. So if we don't brush our teeth on the regular, then we can run into a lot of different problems. So this one that Brian Johnson's talking about specifically, scraping your tongue, using the water pick, you might not necessarily have to go that far, but at least brush your teeth and floss them.
I
Hygiene
agree.
is important.
Oral hygiene is a very good thing. Sorry, my phone was about to
It's
die,
linked
so I
to
had to.
dementia. No, that's okay. It's linked to dementia, heart disease, heart health, mental. It also has bad. If you get a tooth cleaning after a surgery, you're at a really high risk of an infection because of all the germs that are moving around. And if a germ enters the bloodstream, it can actually travel to the surgical site and give you sepsis.
Hmm.
The mouth is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Very
brush
crazy.
your teeth. On to the next one. Make an effort to drink water. The amount of patients I've had that have gone to the hospital because they're dehydrated is absolutely absurd. And it is a huge thing that when you're younger, especially, you don't even think about it. You think it's not that big of a deal. But as you get older, you may be a little bit more feeble than you were before. Not drinking water can actually do that to you. And I mean, it can for us too. It's just we're going to be a little bit more resilient to it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's stay hydrated. It keeps everything moving in the body. Um, the next two are the ones that made me think of something from our past, where he talks about get sunlight when you wake up and protect your skin in midday sun, which I agree are very important. You need to get some sunlight. Who was the president who used to sun himself naked on the roof of the White House?
Oh, I
Was
don't
it
remember.
Taft? No, it wasn't
It
Taft.
wasn't
Was it
Taft.
Lyndon B.
Taft was the.
Johnson?
It might have been him. Let's see.
I tried Googling
President.
it, and then Google was just like, that never happened. I'm like, that's funny because you're the one who told me it happened. And if me and you are in an alternate timeline, the timeline that we're from, Lyndon B. Johnson was naked on the roof of the White House.
All right. This says Trump was on the roof of the White House. I don't think that was the right one. I can't remember who it was, sir. That stinks.
Well, somebody watching this, do us a favor. Go back and watch our video on the presidents and tell me who was on the roof of the White House naked. Apparently, it's not Google.
Or Google lied to us, which I think is probably more likely the truth.
You mean ChatGPT or Gemini lied to us? Why would AI do such a thing?
Uh,
Off
but yeah.
topic, something crazy I saw on Instagram. Did you know that back in 1966, this is really random. I'm full of random facts. 1966, the Prime Minister of Australia went missing, never to be found again. Never found again.
Hmm.
It has nothing to do with health. But this guy, well, actually, it kind of does. So be smart with your health related decisions if you need to be active daily or, be active daily. He liked to go swimming, invited all of his friends with him. Like he had like two or three buddies. He was like, oh, let's go for a swim. When they get up to the ocean, everything in Australia is trying to kill you. So they get to the
Hmm.
ocean, the waters are really rough. And he's just like, oh, stop being like, a bunch of pansies. And him and his buddy, well, he actually went in the water. His buddies just decided to dip out, and he kept swimming out and out and out, and they lost him. They never found him again.
Crazy though. The fact
You
that that
just
could even happen. Did
you
it
disappeared for
restart?
a second. It was yeah.
That is so weird. Now it's saying that our time on our live also
No, it's
restarted.
about no. Mine tells me we're 24 minutes in. But either
Okay.
way, yeah, he swam out. Never found him again. They spent weeks searching the waters for him. Never found his body. They lost the prime minister back in 1966.
That is embarrassing.
No body or anything, dude. That's like the Secret Service losing the president.
Yeah. That's like I said, that's embarrassing. That's terrible.
Yeah, you lost your leader.
And they're doing great. So what do we know?
They got Bluey. That's going for him. I put that on for my dog all the time. He loves it.
All right, next, number 19, stand up straight.
Yeah, have good posture. I mean, it just supports everything. It's pretty
That's not a it's not a
next,
hard one to
please.
talk about. Next, see at least one friend once a week. Thoughts, sir?
I mean, we're social beings. You talk to people.
I agree. You need people to talk to. You need people to
It
get through
keeps
some of those.
mental.
Yeah, you need to get through some of those mental challenges, and it is good to have someone to let it all out. Have a good group of people around you. Um, in the long run, I think it does a lot more than you think when it comes down to it.
It does. It's
Sir,
true.
we are halfway through here. We were planning on doing just a short stream today. Do you think we should just wrap it up there?
Yeah, maybe we save the next half for next week to roll through. And on top of next week, we'll have a longer stream that we can talk about some other things that we react to some other things that some other people are posting. Joel Seedman's always fun.
Joel Seedman, I can't even say anything. Thanks everybody for watching. Sorry we're a little short this week, but we hope you guys enjoyed it. We will talk to you again soon, and have a nice night, everybody.
Except for you, Dawn.
Except for you, Don. You were mean.
Still have a nice night, but